Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Pearl Harbor Explodes. Now, I almost said hello, Canadian wrestling fans, but if you enjoy the international flavor of this promotion, you might appreciate, for the first time, the Canadian Heavyweight Championship will be contested by two non Canadians. Scandalous! But before we get to that, a couple guys received asked for pay raises. Satan's General and Black Dragon God. Speaking of Black Dragon God, him and Deathblow Ken, who are both in borderline bad condition, normal orange. Might have seen when I had BDG on the screen just now. He's had a couple orange body parts. Ken's got one. So it seems fair to match them up again, even playing field, rather than wrestle others who are in tip-top shape. So we'll throw them on first, in case their condition causes them to fall flat. Later rivals might miss the opener anyway, so they might not miss much. Match 2. Not for Shota's Junior Championship, because Big Titan's a heavy. Okay. Blood loss. My explanation for Miguel and his 2-month injury time off that's needed. You might see in the bottom right there of his profile. Now, Miguel wasn't knocked out or finished dramatically, but he did bleed all over the place. And he lost a dangerous amount of blood, resulting in serious health consequences, requiring significant rest to recover. So, what does rival Junior Shota do in the meantime? Well, I have an intriguing opponent for him, as you can see over his shoulder, the former heavyweight champion. If you recall, Big Titan faced the other junior, Miguel, in December. I skipped the match not thinking I'd enjoy it, but I might enjoy this. For even though Shota is also small to be facing a big, the Irredeemable does have some notable tricks up his sleeve. So he breathes fire, he scrapes with a sickle, he bites. So maybe these tactics might serve as an equalizer that might make a competitive match between these two actually realistic. So we'll give that a try. Match 3. Jin Dynasty. Challenge Team Canada for the 6-tag championship. We had a sharpshooter finish for the retaining of the titles by Canada. Again, we saw both sharpshooters apply. We saw the Sensational and Blue Hair both put their sharpshooters on at one point or another. So that rivalry within the rivalry continues, I would say. And then match 4. Team Satan will challenge again. Team Terrible. If you recall their previous match, they had an 87% match evaluation, and it was much more competitive than before. So, thought it'd be good to see this again. as Team Satan seems to be gathering some momentum, perhaps, toward another title reign. In fact, Team Terrible is the team to which Team Satan lost their titles. So we'll see if they can finally avenge that. Which brings us to the main event. Don't look now, but wise man Ted Axel has won back-to-back main events. Has he finally found the $50,000 stride as your Canadian heavyweight champion? And did I call it again, actually? Big Mike needs rest. See that poor condition? Yeah, again, it seems to me I guessed correctly on this before. I took a wild guess who knows Big Mike might need rest, and it happened, and here it is again. So, if we are to get the rubber match decider between him and Baron Charles, it will have to wait. And the door is now wide open for the people to get what they want. As you see, Ted Axel with the title there, with the belt. The Baron. The people's champ. The people's choice will battle for Canada's heavyweight championship. In fact, the people have contributed some new terminology for the popularity of Baron Charles. Baron Mania. So, will Baron Mania run wild in the main event? We'll find out as Team Pearl Harbor explodes. So, what's the venue for this extravaganza? So we remain at Rural Medium, but now at $40/print ad. So lower ticket price and higher advertising cost to run a similar sort of caliber show as last time. Although we're getting a higher attendance than previous. We're upper 9,000s this time. So, I mean, we're back to 5 matches compared to 6 in the previous event, which was a title match as well. So 1 fewer match, 1 fewer title match, so that, will reduce some of the turnout. So that's why we're gonna make a little less revenue this time. We might play in front of a slightly bigger crowd. So we're good. And before we get to the matches, I think we'll just view the title belts briefly. I'm pretty happy with that. Confirm. Records can help view title belts. As you can see there, Ted Axel is our 7th Canadian heavyweight champion. Lucky 7, perhaps? A long reign ahead? Maybe? So yeah, we're into a second page now with the champions. There's Big Mike, Big Titan have each had 2 reigns, which were interrupted by Wolf Hockfield and the Canadian Sensation had title reigns. Here we go. 7th champion, Ted Axel. Speaking of long reign, question mark. One undeniable long reign. Team Terrible. 4 defenses of the Tag Team Championship, which is the best tag reign ever, eclipsing their own former record of 3 wins. That is 3 title defenses, of course. That case that's not clear, I think I mentioned this before. If you haven't had a title defense, it'll just say win because you won the titles. So the number, if they actually mention a number by your wins, that's actually title defenses. So 4 title defenses for Terrible Team. So that's the best reign of any title. So impressive. Okay, so a couple of minor things, but fun things. So we're ready to start. For those of you who waited rather impatiently for the Baron Charles to get his heavyweight championship shot. Well, you have to wait a little bit. It's match 5, but you won't have to wait much longer in terms of... We'll see at this event. April. So our first match is a 5th match, in a way. In that this is match 5 in the series, this mixed martial arts, MMA Japan rivalry / partnership between Black Dragon God and Deathblow Ken. And I feel like there's still something at stake here, right? Because I kind of thought that Ken can now make a good claim to being the team leader. Because despite being even in the series, Ken's been a former tag champion. If Black Dragon God can win this match decisively, perhaps, would be needed, that's in doubt again as to who should be the leader. So there's quite a bit online here. Bragging rights, their health, as I said, their health is not great, either of them. Kind of wrestling under duress. Counter kick to the crotch, let's say that was. Ken tried to kick their Black Dragon God, sort of sidestepped his and landed one of his own. Early drop down armbar from the underside. Black Dragon God says that's way too early. Lands a medium kick and a low kick. Combination kicks by Black Dragon God. Knees to the face. Ken comes back. So wild affair so far with these two guys in the first minute. A lot of strikes landed. As we need to ask you as the viewer, as we see the armbar applied by Black Dragon God, I requested a comment on something the previous video. I feel like I want to request one here too. Do you like this match? This mixed martial arts match? Not necessarily these two guys necessarily, but this style. Because you notice it's a different style. A lot of striking, a lot of takedowns, a lot of submissions. Not the kind of wrestling, showmanship wrestling you might have grown up watching on TV. This is more practical, real fighting stuff. Do you like these matches? Because I'd be curious if people think this is a refreshing change of pace from the other types of matches, or do you find this type of match a little dull? I'd be curious what the opinions are. Because I don't mind this type of match. As we see knees to the face and then mounted strikes. Black Dragon God asserting himself. Does he have the upper hand after three and change? Maybe not. I thought Big Mike had the upper hand in the Baron Charles rematch. And I was wrong. Even I could be wrong. Even your CEO is not perfect. Close, though. My vision of Ted Axel came to fruition, so just saying. Yeah. Maybe watch this match closely. And then if you have an opinion, do you like it? Do you dislike it? Just leave in the comments. Because, if everyone secretly hates this MMA style fighting we're watching, I'd hate to keep forcing you through it. If you like it, great. Because I don't mind it. I don't mind these two. I like these two as individuals. It intrigues me the way these guys are so on again, off again. They've been singles rivals. They've been tag partners. And, you know, they're probably waiting on the results of the tag team match. Can Team Satan get it done? Because if they can't, maybe they get squashed by Team Terrible this time, and the tag picture starting to look a little bit non-competitive. We might have to put these two guys back in to face Team Terrible. If they don't hurt each other rather badly in this match, because their condition's not great going into it. So who knows? Who knows? The future is a tricky thing, for it is uncertain, is it not? Ken takes his man down into the turnbuckle area. Black Dragon God might have whacked his head against the ring ropes. And the ring ropes, rope is almost a bit of a misnomer because they're basically cables, right? There might even be metal in there. It's either like hard rubber, or maybe not metal. But it's, you know, it's, I think if you fell and smacked your head against one of those ropes, you'd feel it. Anyway, the game doesn't recognize that, so we're in fun fact territory. Is that the reverse Achilles hold? I mentioned that we saw that as a name for the ankle lock. It's a little more exciting to me. So we're in 8.5 minutes. Meanwhile, as we see that roll over into the arm bar by Ken across the Strong Management logo. Thank you to our sponsor, main sponsor. So Black Dragon got back to these mounted strikes. I feel like I was making a point there and I got sidetracked, so busy trying to help our sponsor out. Our very fictional sponsor. No, it's not fictional. It's very real. It's real. Support them. I don't know. Oh yeah, the point I was going to make is we're getting close to 10 minutes now. So keep an eye on these submissions because someone might be tappity tap. But didn't these guys go 15 or 16 last time? I seem to recall it was more of a marathon. So biting. This is part of what caused Miguel Hernandez to miss time. And there you see blood. Right on that logo that I thought might have been, that symbol that I thought might have been Japanese. It might even, who knows, maybe since it's Canada. You know how Native, it seems to me I've seen the Native American sort of little design where they build stones up into like a vaguely humanoid shape. So maybe that could be what that is. That symbol next to RSGN. Maybe it could be that Native Canadian stuff. Blood, by the way. Very Canadian red blood. And those knees to the face, Ken knocks the Black Dragon God onto the death blow blood. Well, surely, even if you aren't in love with these MMA fights, you gotta be in love with the blood. Look at the blood collecting at the head of Ken, out the head. Oh, God. 13 minutes exactly. Tiring. Ken laying with blood seeping out onto the mat. Ooh. Any chance Ken gets injured? You know what? I don't think this changes too much in terms of the team dynamic. Seems to me 96 match evaluation. Obviously, it was close. It was exciting. It wasn't one-sided. I don't think, even if this puts, I guess this puts Black Dragon God in the lead for the series 3-2. But I still feel like if they tagged up right now, I'd still put Ken as the leader due to his his history as tag team champion. I think that's still very, very much probably the deciding factor there. 96%, plenty of blood. 13 minutes exactly. 13 unlucky for Ken this time. But yeah, again, what did you think? What do you think of the match? The MMA style. If you don't mind letting me know. Certainly comment if you secretly hate it. If you're so, maybe don't pretend. I don't need you to pretend like you like it. But if you hate these matches, let me know. I'd like to know if there's any, if it's an eye roll. Okay. Pretty cool. I think that was as cool opening match as I could have asked for myself. So I'm happy. Match 2. Last match before we get into the title matches. So Big Titan's not used to wrestling in the 2 slot. He's usually at or near the main event, but it's a bit of a special circumstance. Maybe I should have put him in red. Maybe he's seeing red right now. Lost the title. Lost his decent spot on the card in terms of where he fights. But last time he was seeing red, I think, was when he was defeated by the Canadian sensation, who was like a medium-sized guy. Big Titan's not used to losing to guys of that size. So maybe he learned something from that experience. You know, keep an even keel. He's up against Canada's junior champion, the Irredeemable, who, as I say, probably better find some of those underhanded tactics. And he's probably got quicker striking too, right? So even though they locked up, like that could absolutely be the outcome. Shota just gets manhandled by the bigger man. We saw in that early, like, you notice sometimes when they lock up, Shota gets a strike in. I think that's realistic too, because he's clearly a practiced striker. He's got, fighting. He's got boxing gloves on, like, those fingerless gloves. Breathes fire. Big Titan was just out of range. He might have been engulfed. Maybe his chest hair was singed a bit by that. Even if he has, I guess he's clean shaven. As he lands that drop kick to the back of the head. Vertical suplex, stays in the ring though. Anyway, maybe his pectoral muscles were singed a bit by just being outside of the range of that fire. Arm breaker. But yeah, I mean, if Shota was throwing Big Titan around with grappling holds, I'd feel like that's a little bit awkward, because the weight difference is considerable here. Like in a grapple, that should be more what happens. A much bigger man gets the upper hand. That seems realistic to me with the big Titan body slam. But absolutely, Shota could win those lockups if he gets a strike in, like that punch to the face right there. So everything seems pretty realistic to me so far. This is what we wouldn't have had with the Miguel match. That's why I skipped it with Big Titan, is that it felt like it would have looked a bit unrealistic. It was a pure grappling. And Shota would do well to take advantage of those moments to do those mounted strikes too. Apply the damage where you can. So what's going to win out here? The grappling superior of Big Titan, or the striking of Shota? So yeah, is this the first time we've had like a pure? Well, no. Although Miguel has some striking. I feel like I wanted to call this our first pure striker versus grappler match. It kind of feels like it. As Shota follows up those knees to the face with the scythe. I called it a sickle in the intro, but it's a straight blade, right? So that's more the scythe. And Big Titan is split open. This is what I was saying. This might make this match interesting. Because if Big Titan suffers enough blood loss, that's a thing, right? Breathing fire, but as his face was forward, following through that with that breathing fire, Big Titan punches him in the face. There's that super bomb into the turnbuckle area. Yeah, we got blood. Back-to-back blood to begin this event. Strikes to the back of the head. Because Big Titan, he's gotten a taste of the mixed martial arts style, though. He has fought both Ken and Black Dragon God, who we saw in the opener, and won both times against that MMA style. So had I remembered that, I might have been more reluctant to put Big Titan in against a junior variety of that, the MMA style that Big Titan's been successful against. But as I say, to be fair, Shota is a bag of tricks in terms of like cheating in various ways. Big Titan looking around for some crowd recognition. Maybe this is not a contest. He lands that kick to the back of the head. 2.9. Normally 7.5 minutes. It's a bit early for 2.9 as we see the exploder. But really, this is heavy. This is heavy versus junior. So 2.9 again. Shota, to his credit, is hanging on there. Another exploder. Oh! Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Big Titan wasn't satisfied with the results of his first exploder. He only got a 2.9. Bloody and panting for breath. But exploder number 2 pretty much shattered Shota's hopes of what would have been a pretty heavy upset. 76%. Probably couldn't have asked for much more. I kind of asked for this, didn't I? Like I say, this is heavy junior. It really shouldn't be competitive. But I think I got what I wanted out of that match. I think Shota looked good at times, and it looked realistic, didn't it? Because he fights a different style. And that striking style, he's able to get some strikes in on the inside, which probably should with those shorter, quicker arms. And we saw blood. Big Titan ended up seeing red after all. He didn't don his red alternate outfit, but he was bloodied. And lucky for him, the match didn't go much longer. Because we saw what happened to Miguel Hernandez, who bled ceaselessly for what seemed like forever, and then he's going to be out in a couple months. Will the Irredeemable join him on the shelf? We've seen this happen before when guys get critical. Sometimes a guy isn't just put out instantly, he's injured. So, in fact, if you know your history on Canada Day, Big Titan executed the exploder on Satan's General in round 2. And it was that same effect. It was a devastating exploder, critical. Knocked the man clean out, just like here. So, we'll see. Does Shota miss time? Maybe we'll get lucky because we have Monster Gains, one of our sponsors, a top turnbuckle sponsor. You might see it occasionally at the top of the ring. Maybe Monster Gains will keep Shota from significant sidelining. If we're lucky, Shota just misses 1 month, which is Miguel's got 1 more month absent. So maybe the two of them would just need to recover. We'll see the junior title match again before too long. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Irredeemable is not gone for a while. And if he is again, well, I guess I kind of asked for this, didn't I? Big Titan is no joke. He's your former heavyweight champion. Presumably, and he's a big heavyweight. Presumably, he should defeat a junior. So, sorry, Shota. But I think Shota's fame was increased a bit there. For while he was in there, I think he looked pretty good against the former champ and bloodied him. So, I'm good. For now, I'm good. Let's wait on the injury report. I might be not as good. Match 3 for the 3-on-3. First of 3 title matches for your 6-tag Championship of Canada. Jin Dynasty, Blue Hair, the sharpshooter, Japanese sharpshooter. First into the ring, followed by Strongheart and Jin Kiritani, the Trick Prince himself. They've tasted 6-tag gold and only briefly. Rivalry's been comfortable for Team Canada. Sensation, Omega, and the leader, The Wolf, Canada's 6-tag champions. Bang! Will we see the bang? Will we feel some bang? Okay, Jin, the Trick Prince, tries for a shot early. Foiled. Knees to the gut, though. Succeed. Knee to the back. Oh, things looking pretty good for the Trick Prince so far. Shot landed by the Wolf. We're back to some Jin offense there with the body slam. So the Wolf trying to change the complexion there by throwing his man into the Canadian corner. Now he eats knees to the face. Wow, green mist. Failed chiefly because Wolf had the sense to get out of there. Double suplex with his original tag team partner, Omega. Yeah, things went badly enough for Wolf in that early going that he found his first excuse to get out of there and extended out of the range of the green mist. Kick to the face. Some pretty good work overall by the Trick Prince to start things off. He turns things over to Blue Hair with the assisted powerbomb into the sleeper. Two and a half minutes of Jin Dynasty looking pretty good here. Elbow to the back of the head as things get sensational all of a sudden. Battle of the sharpshooters. Can Alan Hawkins change the complexion of this? Because it's looking kind of Jin-y. Snap suplex. Sensational snap suplex. Body slam out of the ring. This is our first out of the ring for this event. And the sensation, too gentlemanly to pursue. We've seen a lot of blood. As we see a neck breaker there. Knee to the leg. Soften up the foundation. But I don't know if we haven't really seen out of the ring fighting, have we? There's the 3D Strongheart. Executing it. Body slam. Bulldog applied by the Canadian sensation. And then reversal on the vertical suplex out of the ring again. But no. The good, wholesome Canadian boy is content to keep this clean. Let's keep this a wrestling match, not a back alley brawl. And as I call this match, I feel a strain in my throat a little bit. So I will probably take a breather before we get to the main event. I want to be at my fresh best. So it's a big main event. The Baron Charles will get his first shot at heavyweight title gold. Don't want to be horse trained for that. Meanwhile, this is for a title as well. Face slam, one-man gang style. Wow. Some sort of Frankensteiner slam. Pretty devastating by Omega, but then he eats some devastating looking knees to the face. And we're into the blue corner. Wow, combination striking Educated legs by the Trick Prince. Now we have an abdominal stretch. In the challenger corner, it's broken up. Dragon screw leg whip. One of my favorite takedowns. That's one way to take a man down. Elbow to the spine. 9 minutes in. Little bit of miscommunication there on the teamwork. Collision. Body slam out of the ring. The Wolf has already had a better showing against the Trick Prince than he did at the opening. What was that? Diamond cutter by Blue Hair. Into a leg trap, ankle lock. Vertical suplex out of the ring as we approach 10. Now we'll see some outside fighting. All three members of Team Canada out there. The Canadian sensation has a chair. He has stopped being a gentleman as we saw the sensation make a sensational chair shot against Trick Prince neckbreaker also. After some early politeness, the Canadian sensation was content to pass it outside the ring. Now we see a broken table shard in there too by Trick Prince. Well, wild 6-person brawling on the outside. It's like some sort of double arm. Perhaps suplex attack was attempted there. Both sharpshooters in the ring at the same time. We've got a 4-man fracas. Strongheart STF. Strongheart stretch. Well, that was a kick to the crotch just now. 12 minutes. Arrogant cover. Wolf's in there to make the save and apply the half crab. Soften the opponent up before the sensation goes back to work. And we eat a drop kick down low. Sleeper. Sleeping again. Well, all 6 men in the ring right now. Wolf lands a kick. Elbow by Trick Prince. Kicking. Some wild scrapping with a lot of guys in the way. Suplex. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Wow. Flying front dropkick there. Into the armbar. But more than one member of Jin Dynasty is out there to break that up with authority. Booting the opponent. Exchange of strikes, ending in dueling dropkicks. And Wolf, big enough to boot more than one guy down at once by himself. Brain buster though, falling fist. Oh, into the figure 4 leg lock. Omega's in there quickly to make the save. Prevent the submission, knee to the face. Huh. Both men flailing around trying to land a move. Ultimately, we get the dragon screw leg whip. Pin attempt center of the ring. But the save is very much there in time. Wolf Hawkfield. Looked like he was trying to execute some sort of power bomb. But Blue Hair carried his momentum through and sat down on the guy. Fire, jumping, power bomb. Onto the other guy that I think might also have that move, actually. Blue Hair. He's less inclined to use it, I think. Well, I think we've seen Wolf use the fire jumper quite a bit more. And now we're going to see a Phoenix Plex. You know, Jin Dynasty isn't exactly trying to cover these pin attempts. They haven't been inclined to get in there and try to, you know, prevent the save. Maybe they figure it's too early. Why waste our energy? We're going to need some more good work in before we can expect to hoist these championships. Is that the Jake the Snake Roberts short clothesline? Assisted. Back suplex into a neck breaker. Forward. Face suplex. And the Trick Prince is going to fly. Moonsault. Across the back of his opponent. Rolls him up. But Wolf Hawkfield comfortably makes the save with a high kick. 20 minutes as Omega hurls the Trick Prince bodily out of the ring. Leg, hook, brainbuster. We're off the top rope again. Flying diamond cutter from the top rope. Pretty awesome. Omega gets the heck out of there rather than wait to see what double team is coming his way. And him and the Sensation will apply their own. Golden Trigger! Boom! Big double knee. But Strongheart executes that jackhammer. That Goldberg-style jackhammer. Maybe Jin Dynasty needs to make that pin attempt more toward their corner because it seems like Team Canada's had all the time in the world to break these pin attempts up. Wow, sort of delayed brainbuster. Oh, what's Sensation cooking up here? Wow! Running front dropkick sends Strongheart sailing toward his own side of the ring. Elbow to the spine. Sensational Superfly. Lands the diving headbutt to the back of the head. Rolls him up. Some sort of backward victory roll. For the victory. Is it fair to say that the Sensation has been a sensational MVP for this Team Canada? Doesn't it seem like he gets the finish every time? So I believe he's both won and regained this title. Using that very move. Japanese leg roll clutch. He got the sharpshooter in recently too. So I think, what have they had? Like 5 wins as a 3-man team? And Sensation has accounted for like at least 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Still your 6 tag champions. Kind of feels like Jin Dynasty needs to regroup somehow. 90% match evaluation, but as you say, this has been turning into a bit of a one-sided rivalry. Perhaps we need a new 3-man team somehow, some way. I have an idea or two. So we'll see if that materializes. Yeah, where does this division go from here? Question mark. Because Team Canada looks pretty comfortable. And they are still your 6 tag champions. Match 4. The 4-on-4 for Canada's heavyweight tag team championship. Although we don't have a junior tag, so I usually don't bother distinguishing heavyweight. Anyway, there's a couple heavyweights for you. Team Satan. The General being preceded by the Foot Soldier. This will be the third month in a row that these guys have had the shot. The first month, they kind of fell flat. Second month, they really made a match of it. So if they're on that upward trajectory, we might have a really good match here. But that being said, they are up against Canada's own tag team champions. Jason and the Bear. If they win this match handily, I'm not sure what that means for the tag division. Might have some thinking to do. So, starts off with that bear charge. Doesn't land though. Boots the bear in the belly. And tries to overpower Terrible Ted. I think normally not a good strategy. Ted gets the reversal in there on the vertical suplex. Understandably. Takedown into the mount, but it's reversed. A bit early for a 3 count. I guess escape trouble any way you can, I guess. So there's that neck crank the Bear has used. I think he's got the occasional submission off that. That's not normally his go-to. He's really more the guillotine. And here is the Foot Soldier in there, only to get bear hugged. Quite literally bear. Double clothesline. Terrible double clothesline. Eye rake, why not mix some cheating in there? A couple times. Guess Jason realizes I don't have the strength of my opponent right now. If I can take away his eyesight, there's an advantage. An equalizer. Rather flattening clothesline executed by Will Stewart. One man gang. Forward face slam. Into the camel clutch. So we've seen one man gang's finisher and the Iron Sheik's finisher in back to back. I may have mentioned that. Will Stewart tends to do that. He's got throwback moves. He likes to incorporate the finishers of other famous wrestlers. So there was a face stomp there. I don't know how effective that would have been with the hockey mask armor. Double dropkick, Team Satan. Definitely wants to incorporate some teamwork if they're ever going to... So Will Stewart hung around in the ring just long enough to break up that guillotine submission attempt. But the Bear's not through trying to force that choke. Gore. Bear Gore into the neck crank. Bear's looking pretty dominant. Six minutes. Double dropkick again by Team 666. Knee to the gut. That standing guillotine choke. Wow. Believable. As big Will Stewart floors the Bear with a clothesline. He's gotten muscle for days, that Foot Soldier. Drives that knee into the gut. Folds him up for a pin attempt. Oh, that was a weird physics-defying move just now. Jason the Terrible seemed to be temporarily out of the ring. He delivered that headbutt. Speaking of out of the ring, Will Stewart goes flying, and pissed off, he brings a chair into the ring with him. And he whacks Jason the Terrible across the chest and into the tombstone piledriver, Undertaker style. Assisted powerbomb. Double dropkick. We've seen several double team moves. Yeah. You know, Team Satan, they're doing what you're supposed to do in tag team wrestling. They're utilizing 2-on-1 situations, man advantage. Knee drape, backbreaker, submission attempt. Gotta admit, part of me hopes that Team Satan can pull this off, because
10 minutes gone.
I'm not sure what else there is for Team Terrible to face right now. Seems like they've handled other teams. At least this team has been champion. Headbutt using the hockey mask. Hockey mask headbutt. There's that guillotine again. Yep. 11 minutes. I feel like it was a competitive 11 minutes. Really? I'm trying to make a case here. I'm trying to make a case where you might need to see this again. I mean, as the Canadian fans go crazy for the Canadian team. Yeah, I feel like it was competitive, and Team Satan was working as a team. And I don't know. It does seem like a bit of a regression in terms of the rivalry. The previous month it was a much closer match. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could stand to run this match again. In that at least I enjoyed the fight that Team Satan put up. And we always have to remember, it's an actual bear on the other side of the ring. Can't expect the world. So anyway, I'll give it some thought. What do we do with the tag team division? Do we need some sort of new team to add something here? Change things up. For now, still Canadian Tag Team Champions. Team Terrible. Okay, the main event. The people asked for it. The people demanded it. And now they shall receive. Team Pearl Harbor. Can the friendship survive this competition? Can the partnership? Japan's Baron Charles. Modeling for us. America's Ted Axel. For the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. Perhaps the true underdog story. Ted Axel. He never even had a singles win. Anyway. Those times have passed, and he's working the limbs now. Work the arm and now the leg. Baron Charles comes back with the body slam. The Baron body slam. But he's ridden into the corner. by the arm. Wise Man comes back with a $50,000 body slam of his own. Into the turnbuckle, but Ted Axel fights his way out. Body slam again. That seems to be what signals the momentum change so far in this match. Who's going to get the body slam? And test of strength. Baron Charles wins that. Lands an elbow to follow it up to punctuate. Ted Axel flying with the dropkick. Seesaw whirling combat so far between these two. Oh, it's been called for. The steamroller. Is this the move that will keep the momentum with someone? Few moves quite so devastating, quite so electrifying in the world of sports entertainment. And why not go again? Second time, twice as nice. Oh, how is Ted Axel withstanding this? Oh, he's just been crushed. Crushed twice. How do you come back? Well, spirited fight back by Ted Axel with the... What do you want to call that? The arm rodeo? Ride the guy into the mat holding his own. Anyway. In motion. Wow. Flapjack. Diamond cutter. That's about as crowd pleasing as you're going to get. Hip toss. Old school hip toss. You don't see it. The arrogant one-footed cover. Is that a mind game? The Baron has not minded playing mind games in the past. Probably didn't really think he was going to get the cover there. Maybe that's a bit of a try to get your man pissed off. And the Baron is known for tactics that are just meant to mess with the other guy psychologically. Into the turnbuckle now. And then the ball smash.
5 minutes gone.
Using his crotch as a weapon. It's not the only time we've seen Baron Charles do that. And it's not the only way he does that. A backbreaker there. Early for a submission. We're only 5.5 in. So the European uppercut just now by Ted Axel, and why not? Because he also has the England stretch. That time, though, with the crossface chicken wing attempt at the submission. And the Axel death drop. It was part of the moves he put in combination to win this title for Big Titan. Oh, now we got some sort of victory roll. If you remember, back when Baron Charles first saw singles action, it was in the Canada Day tournament. I believe that roll-up pin that he just used on Ted Axel was the move that Baron Charles fell prey to in that tournament. It was against Satan's General. Will we see that move again? Will it be a Baron Mania championship move? Anyway, we see that pop-up diamond cutter again. Pretty devastating. Now the England stretch. I mean, say what you want about Ted Axel's past as a bit of a shortcomer. He has looked pretty good past couple weeks in these title competitions. Maybe it was just a lot of growing pains, a lot of kinks to work out. And he's rounded into form, and he's fighting at the highest level now. And he's champion. There you go. That would test the champ's medal, being body slammed out of the ring. Baron Charles goes after him in pursuit. This is no joke. Baron Charles has waited a while to get recognition as a singles wrestler, and he wants this pretty badly, I'm sure. As a man gets whipped into the guard wall, airplane spin on the outside. Why not do that? And slams his man onto the floor. It's blue on blue here. And Baron Charles wisely evades the wise man there. He's going for that spectacular cartwheel avalanche we've seen him do in the corner. He only ate the turnbuckle that time. Working that arm. Well, that paid dividends over time. I've seen that. That's one of Ted Axel's specialties. He works the arm. He wears down the limb. Bulldog there, chicken wing. 11 minutes. It was around this time that Baron Charles clinched his #1 contendership when he defeated Big Mike. Now we're out of the ring. Knee breaker. Well, it's Ted Axel's turn to pursue outside and turn this into a brawl.
9, 10, 11.
These tag team partners are putting in a pretty vigorous rivalry here in the first ever time facing each other. Maybe more of those mind games. Really didn't materialize, but pile driver, forward pile driver. There we go. The cartwheel avalanche, reverse avalanche. This time he hits it. Baron Charles bullies him back out of the turnbuckle into the center of the ring, knee to the skull. Well, he goes for the airplane spin, but it's rolled up. Ted Axel seemed to see that coming. It was well scouted. Who knows as much about game planning that airplane spin of the Baron Charles than the man who he's partnered with? They've probably talked about that many times, how we incorporate that in the match. And so Ted Axel knew that that move could be coming. Perhaps he was just waiting for it this whole time. He waited till we were a little farther in the match. We saw the airplane spin earlier, but it was out of the ring. I think we saw it in the ring too, didn't we? We saw it in the ring earlier, but still early. So maybe the wise man was wise to just hold off on that surprise roll-up until it was deeper in the match, and you could couple that surprise with your man being a bit fatigued. So, well, it's probably a chorus of boos coming from the baronial faithful, but the champ has held. I mean, it was a great match, though. I mean, at no point was anyone owning this match. It was back and forth. Like, it was to me, I thought it was anyone's guess. Like, I didn't even know how to predict it. It was like, okay, this guy's, like, it seemed like momentum couldn't be established. It just kept going back. Each man kept taking it back. So, yeah, I mean, 73% match evaluation, not the best, but I think it was a better match than that number suggests. So, I don't know. I think we could do this again, absolutely. I think there's a good case to run this another time. So, the Baron Mania does not have to die, at least not yet. For now, at least. We still have a $50,000 champion. And I gotta admit, as the man who envisioned Ted Axel as champion someday, I didn't talk about it much in those early days, but that was the idea. This guy could be a champion. The fact that he would not just win the title, but hold on to it for at least one match. That's also validating to me. So it wasn't just a fluke that he won the title. So we had a couple of not the best evaluations there at the end. The average rating was pretty good until a couple of 73s, but we still secured a average card rating of over 80%. So still pretty good. Still pretty good. Whew. So this is no big surprise. We saw Ken end his match flat on his back with blood seeping out of his head and collecting in a pool around him. So yeah, same reason why Miguel needed time off after the bloodbath. I think kind of makes sense for Ken too. He's going to have to miss next month while he gets some blood replenished into his system. But on the plus side, I was more concerned about Shota being injured. Shota was critical, so maybe he only misses. He's probably going to miss a month as well, though. A lot of times when you get criticaled, you'll come out of there with a red body part. Red is like red as in stop lights, stop signs. In this case, stop wrestling for a moment at least. Come to a complete stop before you carry on. So that's probably what Shota will have to do. We'll take a look though. Okay, so yeah, again, that's two events in a row where the overage we had on our attendance, like the 9,000 overage, we only got half of that. Like last time it was 9,500 projected, we only got 92.5 or something. This time we had like 97 projected, now we're 93 something. So I feel like as CEO, I need to do some internal lookings into some of my employees and finding out why have our projections been inaccurate? We're planning to get this, and like 200 or 300 people don't even show that we expected. So someone probably needs to be fired. Probably need to be doing some restaffing as far as my people that can accurately project if we do this, what can we expect in terms of turnout. So anyway, hopefully this trend does not continue. Hopefully the great success continues. I'll take that every time. So we're back to an even 400,000 for income. We had that 2 months ago. We had 400,000 and then we spiked, and now we're back to maybe something more close to the average. To be fair, last month we were firing on all cylinders. I think we had all 18 guys were healthy. So we had all hands on deck, and it equated to a big income. This is missing a couple guys due to rest and or injuries, a little more what you'd expect. So this might be more the typical result in terms of income / profit. So that's still $250,000, nearly 250,000 so for profit. So that's still a good pace. That's roughly 10% of our total assets now, over 2.5 million. So pretty cool.